Wazoo! Hello. Welcome back to Elden Ring Nightreign. I did a run as Undertaker. Had to fight half of Libra by myself because my teammates kept going down. But as you can see, didn't get a thing there. But I thought, since Scholar and Undertaker are so intertwined, I might have to do Scholar's thing, like this remembrance, before I unlock the ability to get Undertaker's next remembrance. So, let's read starting here. Chapter 4. A journal entry titled The Albinorc's Secret Elixir. I discovered a nobleman's diary in a study hidden beneath a marsh. Deciphering it confirmed the connection between the cleansing tier and the Albinorcs. The vision also pointed to a place known as the Research Annex. Could it be there that we, the Albinorcs, find our manifest desire and reclaim our fate? He's an Albinorc? Question mark? I've never seen an Albinorc with these legs, but okay. On additional observation, a fellow warrior of the Round Table Hold was exhibiting some strange behavior. It seemed she wished to escape the notice of the others, and so, with proof of my claim in hand, I made her a proposal that should serve us both. I had been deliberating on how to frame such a long disappearance from the Round Table Hold, but now I have my answer. I leave the rest to her. Chapter 5. A journal entry titled The Traitor of the Round Table Hold. With scant clues, the research annex, the nobleman's second residence, located below Limfeld, was near impossible to find without the priestess's help. I thought of the peculiar being who seems to come and go from the Round Table Hold at its leisure. I explained my purposes to it and struck a bargain with a small jar merchant. I communicated via etchings on a wax tablet, and the merchant responded gleefully. After an exchange of drawings, we concluded with a detailed agreement. All that was left was to wait. Before long, everything was ready. The truth would soon be revealed. With my heart aflutter, I packed a few belongings and went to the merchant. And we can begin this remembrance. Oh, merchant. Two of them. Hello, merchant. Asked to be shown to the Great Hollow. So, is he just gonna teleport us to, like, the Night 3 boss fight again? The Dreglord? Or just a simple part of this? Can't go backwards. There's a second enemy, that's good to know. Oh, is this from... I'm kind of assuming that this is before the Undertaker one that we did. Where it's like, we went up here as the Undertaker and pulled him out of a crystal. I'm assuming this is us as him going into the crystal. Ooh. I can be much slower about this. Unable to examine now. First I must determine the source of that noise. There's a noise? Oh, brother. So, we're gonna be here for a while then. I mean, I guess I hear a noise. Marauder. Uh-oh. Ugh. Yeah, and this right here is why I was hoping to not. We're doing so little damage. Why I was hoping to really being backed into a corner here, aren't we? Ooh. Oh boy. I was hoping to get a backstab off. Boy. So close. So close. Do we have to redo that? Do we have to redo the entire thing again? Oh, boy. I cannot believe I picked that thing up. But we were so close. If only the game had to let me pull the first guy away. I would have been able to deal with them. Do we have to go up and touch that door and have it be like, nope, you can't do this? Do we have to do that to get the boss to spawn? Rude. Double rude because we need every last bit of health we can possibly get. Let's see, this is 47, 49. Well, we could also use every last bit of damage we could possibly get. So, unable to examine now. First, I must determine the source of that noise. Hello there. Alright. So, this will allow us to debuff the enemies. Okay, wow, wowza. Like a beating and a half there. Yeah, and trying to fight. Hello. Trying to fight a great shield and knight enemy, or a great shield and spear enemy. Using a not great poise weapon. Ow. Dude, this thing has the range of a dagger. Wow, that just kept going until he got a hit off. Alright, so we're just gonna back up, use our final heal. Although, out of those three, honestly, I'd say the Great Shield and Spear Knight is the single largest threat of the three. As ridiculous as that may sound, I've dealt with great swords so much that they simply cannot touch me. Invader vanquished. Objective location can now be examined. Ugh. This game. This game. Even the Godskin Apostle. Like, I fought them enough to where they aren't too big of a threat. I mean, I'm not too big on thrusting swords. So, that takes a bit for me to get used to, but still. Read! A line from a memo. I will stay here with the original elixir. The power of the crystal will preserve it until it is once again required. Oh, it's a cuckoo night. Impossible. The cleansing tear was to be our salvation. It can't be. This must be a mistake. And we fall into despair. Yeah. Sounds about right. Scholar's journal is updated by the recovered memory fragment. I got cleansing tear. Is that one of these? It is. Fast-acting medicine for disease that afflicted the Albinorics that works by removing invasive contaminants. The vassal who developed the medicine did so by testing it on his own body. It was successful and used to treat patients, but the vassal himself passed, his sickness already too advanced. Both the disease and the cure are not mentioned in the annals of history, but the person responsible for their omission is unknown. Relic effect. Scholar, continuous damage afflicted on targets threatened by ultimate art. So you use your ult and any enemy hit by it takes continuous tick damage. And then defeating enemies fills more of the art gauge and improved affinity damage negation. Meaning anything that isn't physical. So like magic, fire, lightning, holy. That's decent, I'd say. So, Chapter 6. A journal entry titled The Truth of the Cleansing Tear. What remains of this entry has been crossed out so many times, it has become completely illegible. The majority of it has been torn out completely. Chapter 7. A journal entry titled That Which I Dreamt While Asleep. You typically dream while asleep, yes. In deepest darkness was I lying down, adrift in a small boat that was barely large enough to contain me, in width or length. The sky above, too, was black as pitch, and though there was nothing at all to mark my passage, no land nor shore in sight, still I felt the rocking of the vessel as it drifted down the stream. Just then the little boat creaked as someone stopped it dead. I tried to crane my neck to see, but my body would not move. All I saw was a hand clasped upon the vessel as it pushed me gently out. Cast hatred aside, heed not the call of the broken and discarded. White flowers bloomed on the river bank, and sweet scent not unlike honey wafted gently. I began to wonder what had become of the woman with whom I had made the bargain with. I wish I could give her the crystal I found underground to show her my appreciation. Chapter 8. A journal entry titled A Sentimental Reawakening at the Round Table Hold. My memories returned in vivid clarity after my reawakening at the Round Table. I have known this uncanny sensation in my frame before, this feeling that my body had been lost. Once I was able to move my arms and legs, I finally stood up. I asked the Iron Menial who had come to my aid. He responded by indicating the flower sitting at my bedside. Its white petals swayed gently, exuding a uniquely refined aroma. I must speak to her, it seems. There's no need to keep the bargain anymore. And we can begin this remembrance. Because despite dying, that last one didn't take too long. So now we can go and talk to her. The Undertaker. Page? From the conclusion of my research finding, the cleansing tear was never found. That is my only regret.
How is that body of yours bearing up?
My gratitude for the rescue.
It was nothing but chance. I only sought you out because I couldn't trust you. I didn't think for a moment that revival was on the cards. But never mind that. I don't need to hold on to this anymore. Please, have it back.
It was pure chance. If you watch that, yes. This lens reveals the truth. What's this I hear? An echo in my head, not like an invitation. Perhaps there is something I must investigate more closely. I'll return the leather case. A small leather case restoring the scholar's monocle handed to the Undertaker and later returned. When the case was handed back to him, it reminded him of his mentor's words, spoken to him on the day that the monocle was first given to him to take on his travels. The lens reveals the truth. Off we go. Cannot be understated how useful these little exclamation points are. They save so much time. Look at self in mirror. Now I know what to check. There's much to be done. the giant mushroom on your head. Small job bizarre. I require your assistance. I don't know what's going on. And I think there's mold growing on my head. Is it not that? Oh, it's probably this. Analyze oneself or cleansing tier. Oneself. Whoever shed this blood, though I know not which age you traveled from, cast hatred aside, heed not the call of the broken and discarded. They're trapped within the detritus. I don't know what that is. Offer them solace. Have mercy upon the dregs. Personal objective added. Let's see what cleansing tier says very quickly, though. I pray that this will suffice, Your Majesty. So personal objective means we get to do an expedition. Also, in case you couldn't tell, yeah, I've got starting armament inflicts frost because without that, his damage is kinda rough. Defeat the Dreglord. Oh boy. And like, I already defeated the Dreglord. This is a red. Yeah, rotten vicinity. And that lets me keep frost. I don't know if we can beat Dreglord first try, though. Well, just like the Undertaker, I guess we're running double this character. Alright, they swapped off. Like I said, any other time, I would swap. Like, I will happily take any excuse to go Iron Eye, but I am very specifically doing a personal objective here. So, if personal objective in progress was not a thing in my current situation, I would absolutely let them take it. But here we are. And remember, you can only have one personal objective. Or like, you can only have one person having a personal objective in a matchmaking thing. So because I have a personal objective, guaranteed neither of them do. And last time we counted those, like how many we needed, and we counted 5. Pretty sure it was 5. I can do it again. We've gotten 1 so far. And thankfully, they're on the move, meaning we can follow them. Ow. Hello, good sir. I hope you don't mind being poked to death. Improved melee attack power. I was about to go with a Watchdog's greatsword. because I like Watch Dogs Greatsword, but then I saw that, and improved melee power is better than simply going with a weapon that I enjoy. Especially because that is very much a strength weapon, and we are very much not a strength character. So it would just be there for, like, emotional support. Rather than being an actually useful weapon. We can examine this. 4873. I suppose we can pick that up just because we don't have anything else. There was another crystal there, so that makes 2. They're shooting at them, so we can get rid of them. We can we can use this because there's a lot of enemies around here. And that's just about everything dead. Okay. We can go with improved physical attack. There's normally a chest here that gets you a thing. One of the, like, boss orbs. Well, I guess because it was in a different location, that meant that it wasn't here this time. There's a crystal there that makes 3. Very good to see someone who knows the map, because I certainly don't. We can pop that just to quickly debuff them. And we can just give them the good old pokey poke, except for here where I was gonna say we can backstab them, but they got flinched out of it. None of these are good, so I'll just go stance breaking. Not gonna do anything, but it's something, I suppose. Here. Yeah, I haven't looked up how to do any of these, but I've gotten pretty good at figuring them out. I saw a great crystal up there. Improved flask restoration. And I can head up here and grab this and then hopefully catch up with the team or wherever they decide to go. Break that. I believe that's number 4. doesn't seem to be the same amount every time, considering the last time it was 5, or at least I believe it was 5. And this time it was 4. Increased poise. That's good for them. Okay. I'm gonna pin that, and maybe they'll agree, maybe they won't. We'll see. Either way, we can grab this. We can hop over here. And we can drop directly in. And because... Yep. I'll take my pin off. I'm not really using my ult that much, or my ability. Warhawk's Talon, that's another weapon that I really like. Not really using my character stuff that much, but if we had an Undertaker, I'd be popping my ult basically off cooldown. When it comes to the ability, I just don't know how to use it effectively. I think I'm probably going to pop it for, like, the more formidable bosses right at the beginning. And then if they ever do a buff or phase change, let's see, don't want to get close to the boss. During that, because they explode, so we can safely hit them during that. Minus spell FP cost. Guess they either didn't care or assumed that was for me, since it was a thrusting sword. Beautiful. Always good to have a recluse. They're running, so we're also going to run. Because I'm going to, what I safely assume to be that the idea that they have a lot more knowledge than me on this map. Because I cannot wrap my head around vertical maps for the life of me. No matter how much I try. I mean, even with the normal map, they're just a little bit too deep, sadly. And right next to an enemy. So But as I was saying, with the original map, like my two biggest problems were that controller on PC just didn't let you put a pin on the map. Like, obviously I can now, but it was just unbound by default. No idea why it was unbound by default, but it was unbound by default, and I didn't know that. And so that gave me a lot of trouble, and then the tunnels confused me. But outside of those two things, I caught on to the map pretty quickly. But, oh! The Giga Bears. The Giga Bears. How they fear me. How they scare me, rather. I don't think they fear me. That is the other way around. But yeah, outside of those two things, I caught on to the main map pretty quickly. Like, it took me a long time to be able to lead. Again, mostly because pin was unbound by default. But I was able to get a feel for the map pretty quickly. But this one, not so much. I mean, like, I'm recognizing things. I've gotten to the point where I'm recognizing things. But if you ask me to maneuver somewhere by myself, oh yeah, he can hold more. I forgot that he could hold more items. That's very nice. Hopefully this doesn't kill me. Alright, do they want... like... are they trying to go up or down? I think I may have missed something because they're way more up than me. Ah, yeah, this. Like I said, vertical maps. I just cannot deal with them. We eventually made it up. Ugh. Eventually. I don't care for that. Dodge. Pop that. Understandable. Now we can pop this, just in case that's going after us. We can dodge through that. And keep up the pokes. The avatars are enemies I know very well. So I would have no problem whatsoever with them putting all of their attention onto me. I'd actually like that a lot. Because I like these guys. Plop. Gold. I love both of these weapons. Holy Bow, I only love in Nightreign. But I love both of those weapons. But I recognize that Wind and Grace is the option. Whether Wind and Grace specifically on me is the option, but Wind and Grace is definitely the option. Using Flask also restores FP. That is very good for our Recluse. Didn't know that was the same one. I just kept an eye on them on the compass to see if they would stay on it, meaning in front of me, or if they would disappear, and in which case I would look around. Just entirely relying on them for navigation, because I don't know how to get through here. I'll probably be able to figure it out, at least somewhat, as time goes. Don't just don't question reality. I'm gonna stick with them because trying to run off on my own is a good way to get lost. Yep. Yeah, I definitely would have gotten lost without them, despite how simple that was. Verticality. Brain. Oh, the temple quietly soothes any and all life. Yeah, man. Whatever you say. Alright, we can just give him the old poke, 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 poke. Critical hit. Came in a good time because we were low health. I would have popped my ult, but we were going through that pretty easily. And yeah, that has a rot resistance in the Dreglord. employs a rot. I don't have to worry about it because of the rot in vicinity causes continuous HP recovery. But for the two of them, whoever decided to pick that up, if one of them decided to pick that up, understandable. Not yet. An attack on one is an attack on all now. And we're gonna need it considering Knight's Cavalry have a crippling addiction to running away non-stop. Yeah. So, in case you didn't know, I do not like Knight's Cavalry. And this is why. Because all they do is run away. And it's annoying. And it's double annoying on Nightreign when you're on a time limit. But we got this guy off his horse. So we can just burst him down. Ah. Press dodge too late. I actually don't know if that was input lag from the controller or if it was me pressing the button too late, but I'm gonna lean towards pressing the button too late. Yeah, when it comes to guy on horse, I much prefer the Tree Sentinels, the Draconic Tree Sentinels, Royal Carrion Knight, because they don't run away. And them not running away is so much nicer. Okay. Now we go off to the right. See, 55, 119. Let's use this to quickly debuff them. We can use this to get the frost. Assuming they, yeah, I was about to say, assuming they can be frosted. Which I think they can be. Ooh. Ancient Lightning Spear applies a lightning buff to the weapon now. Nice. Can't go near him during that, so ow. Oh. Question is, that's what to say. Do they want to kill the boss, then run? Or are we running now? And the answer seems like running now. Which, we're level 14, we got 34k. So this should be fine. Oh, Scatab. Yeah, I don't know where to jump down. So it seems like at the end is a good answer. We can take out a few enemies just to have some extra runes. And I've gotten a little bit of practice with the Night 2 jump. Because you can either go across that and then across the main bridge. Or you can go up onto that cliff and do the jump. I think they're a little nervous. They made it though. I kind of don't want that. Like, I am not confident enough as Scholar against the Dreglord. If we were going up against like Ryephalos, Gaping Jaw, Libra, as I said in the beginning, my last expedition, I used soloed half of Libra's health bar as Undertaker. So like the Night Lords in order 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and then even a little bit of 7 and 8, not including, like, ignoring the 2 DLC ones. We're gonna pop this to survive that attack. Okay. Ow. Ow. He turned on us very quickly. Can we perhaps rot him? Oh, we did. We actually rotted him. Nice. Recluse and friends. I don't know if they do affinity damage negation, so we'll take this. That is kind of what this feels like, just recluse and friends. And that is not a bad thing. Remembrance, my beloved. I'm gonna... Yeah. I'm just gonna take that. I mean, hey. I get 2 warming stones, they get a wind and grace. I'd say that's a good trade. I'm happy with that. But yeah, I mostly... I've beaten Stragus here, which I looked it up, that's apparently just their name. So it doesn't have a meaning. But I've beaten them... If I had to guess, I want to say, like, 4 times. And it's almost exclusively been with Iron Eye. I think I've beaten them with a non-Iron Eye character once. Oh! It was nearly my entire health bar. Ooh. As I said, I've beaten them with a non-Iron Eye character once. And besides that, it's just been with Iron Eye. By far my best character. Well, Wendigo use my ability. And instantly went down. So I feel like that might be saying something. Gonna pop that. They're going... Ooh, I was gonna say, they're going for the revive, so I'm gonna try to hold his attention, and that did not work. Alright, so that attack... You can get a feel for when to dodge it, not based on timing, but based on a little visual he does, where right before the explosion, he like slightly raises his hand, so he like stops moving, and then he raises his hand. And when he raises his hand, ow. Yeah, when he raises his hand, that means dodge immediately. Yeah, I'm not confident in winning this, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. We can drop that. Hopefully get some health back. I think the thrusting sword is better for reviving. Although at this point, we're all on 3 bars, so reviving is gonna be a little tough. Be able to with that. Roars do no damage. They just stun. Ow. His ult is a good full heal, because any enemy hit by it gets you health back. I was about to say, please just ignore me. Yeah, when he raises his arm, that's when you dodge. Oh, look at that dodge into poking. Look at that dodge. Beautiful. Can I maintain that for the rest of this fight to get us the win? No. But it was cool while it lasted. Give him the old few pokes. Let him thrash around. Beautiful. Not to curse what we got going for us, but being kind of locked in a little bit. Just a little bit. And also, they have them rotted, which is pretty nice. Oh. I panicked there. I was debating on whether to drop a flask or a warming stone. Unfortunately, I did not get the dodge timing on that. And also being full health did not save me. Ouchers wouchers. I would once again like to point out the ouchers wouchers. Don't kill yourselves to get me up. Killing yourselves to get me up is not worth it. I accidentally pressed L1. That is very unfortunate. Like, I pressed dodge and L1 at the same time, and L1 took precedence. That is very unfortunate. But I will hopefully be back with a win, so we can see how this remembrance ends. Alright, attempt number 2. We have a poison cross Naginata, which also has native bleed on it, along with an Anspur rapier, which has native rot buildup on it. Also, it has less likely to be targeted. And these kind of useless, but we have Crimson Burst, 7 Flask, so only level 14, not 15. I don't know what status conditions can be applied to this guy. Probably should have just healed. Looking at them for the moment. We can do that. That is something I forgot to do. Back up. The Wraith's got in the way. There's also just kind of a weird angle. But those two things came together to lead to me pressing the button just a tiny bit too late. But now we can back up. Let him throw his temper tantrum. Move back in. entirely sure what he's doing. There's a lot of visual clutter happening right now. I wonder if going into phase 2 revives. We're not going to take that chance on account of them being a 3-bar. And also, you have plenty of time to get at least one revive. Okay. Can't really attack them yet. We'll just use that how it is there. Oh, jeez. We're just... The game just really does not want me to use warming stones. Which are like kind of understandable, however, I only have 3 flasks. And this boss can nearly one-shot me from full. No? Hoping to rot. You didn't let me get the critical. That. Managed to poison him. Ooh. That was very close. Okay. What to do? I think it's a critical, but they got it, so it's fine. And ooh. We also rotted them. Dodged slightly too early. We can pop a heal, we can pop Crimson Burst. The beloved. Focus on just getting the good dodges. getting hits in where we can. Using that because we haven't used that in a while. And there we go. Whew. Calamity overcome. Victory. Headband of the Golden Ones. Headband worn by the denizens of the Land of Gold. At long last, we can rest. Thank you. We got carried by a VTuber. Don't really care for that. Don't really care for that. Don't really care for that. Or that. So there we go. Headband of the Golden Ones. And we can see what we get out of that. Yeah, by the way, just in case all of us died, we also had Nicoladio. Meaning we all would have gotten revived. And on top of that, Nicoladio means we got the normal map, which was so good. Anyways.
Must it really be me?
I have something I'd like to ask of you.
Yes. How can I help?
Give a copy of my research. Alright, so this is the conversation we had last time.
Ah. That's a little...
Please, stand witness to our legacy.
Sorry?
I don't know when the chance will come. One day my kind will ask you for answers. You are the only one I dare depend on. For me, it'd be Wilder. I'd say Iron Eye, but he's an assassin.
Very well. This time, I will ensure my promise is kept. Perhaps you should resume your work.
Is that Smolder Bazaar or this? Seems like this. From the conclusion of the research findings, the cleansing tear could not change our fate, but it still changed the course of history. Remembrance. A remembrance completed. Remembrance already, wow. I thought that we'd get one, maybe two more. Note, my dear successor. I'm assuming that's in here. A headband worn by the denizens of the Land of Gold. This commonplace accessory in the lands between signifies one's faith and gratitude for the grace of gold. The scholar was certain of the purpose that lay before him, to weave the past into being. Oh no, it's here. A note left by the scholar addressed to those in pursuit of the truth summarized the events that transpired in Limveld. Analysis can be painful, but the benefits outweigh the sacrifice. To whomever succeeds me in my work, may your endless journeys lead to enlightenment. And we've got Scholar prevents slowing of character skill, so you zoom in, and then if you get smacked out of it, the progress doesn't go down. That's a quality of life thing, but not super powerful. Scholar allies targeted by character skill gain boosted attack, that's nice. And then character skill cooldown +3, that's nice. And then we have Chapter 9, a journal entry titled My Purpose. Limveld is a sacred land under which sleeps secrets and mysteries aplenty. What I have unearthed will change our understanding entirely. for I have found that which was only known to us in books and legends. I know I will be called a madman, a liar, or worse, a furry. Yeah. But I hope that those who follow up in my footsteps will be much closer to the truth. Allow me to conclude my findings, having now come to the end of this grand romance. The cleansing tea is not a manifestation of our desires. It has not the power to change our fate. It is, however, an artifact of great import. Let it be known to history. And then we have a little drawing there. And finally, before we end things off, we can look at the difference between Remembrance and Scholar. The Golden Braid. If there's anything else, I'm not immediately seeing it. But I see the Golden Braid. I'm gonna stick with Xanthus, though. But okay, I think we can end it there. We read pages... I think 4 through 9? Something through 9. And we also beat the Dreglord. And concluded Scholar's entire series of remembrances. Getting his remembrance garb. So all that's left is some remembrances for the Undertaker here. So good progress. Good to see me getting carried by a VTuber, and